Hello friends, hope you are all safe. Okay, in the previous video, the basic terms and relations used in direct stiffness method of analysis has been discussed. Now in this video, a truss element is considered and its rotational stiffness matrix T, local stiffness matrix KL and global stiffness matrix Kg are going to be derived. To know more about these matrices, you can refer the previous video. Now the relation connecting these three matrices is Kg is equal to T transpose KL into T. That is, to get the global stiffness matrix Kg, we need KL and T, that is local stiffness matrix and transformation matrix. Okay, now let us derive the local stiffness matrix KL for a truss element. You should note that these T, KL and Kg are different for truss and frame elements. Here we are taking only truss element and frame element can be considered later. Now to derive the local stiffness matrix KL, consider a truss element 1, 2 of length L. Since we are considering or since we are going to derive local stiffness matrix, no need to consider the inclination of the member because local x-axis will always be parallel to the axis of the member. Okay, now let P1 be the force acting at node 1 and P2 be the force acting at node 2. For our convenience, let us take small letters to represent the terms in local coordinates and capital letters for terms in global coordinates. Now here, due to force P1, that is due to force small p1, the displacement cost is d1. That is, we assume that due to a force P1, the displacement cost is d1, and due to force P2, the displacement cost at node 2 is d2. Now we have a relation, that is K is equal to P into delta, where K is the stiffness, P is the force and delta is the displacement. If we assume this delta displacement as unity or 1, then K will be equal to the force. That is, stiffness will be equal to the force acting in the member. Here the displacement we considered are d1 and d2. Okay, let us equate to 1 and derive the stiffness K. That is, K will be equal to the force acting the member when displacement equal to 1. Okay, let us first assume d1 displacement d1 equal to 1. For d1 displacement to occur, P1 will be acting rightwards at node 1. And to keep the whole system in equilibrium, P2 will be acting in an opposite direction. Also assume that at node 2 the displacements are restricted. That is, node 2 there is no displacement. Only D1 is acting in the member, or only the displacement D1 is occurring in the member. So at node 2 there is no displacement, or let us assume it as a fixed point or a fixed point which do not move. Okay, and now we know that the actual length of the member is L. Next we have a relation Young's modulus E is equal to stress by strain, where stress is force by area, that is P by A, and strain is change in length by original length, that is delta L divided by L. So this equation can be rearranged and written as PL by A delta L. So from this, delta L is equal to PL by AA. P means force into length divided by area into Young's modulus E. Here the displacement delta L is equal to d1, that is the displacement taken by us, which we have assumed as 1, that is delta L equal to d1 equal to 1. So we can equate it as 1 is equal to, since delta L equal to 1, we can equate it as 1 is equal to PL by AA. Therefore, from this, force P is equal to AE by L. Okay, here there are two forces P1 and P2. So P1, since it is in the positive x direction, it will be AE by L, and P2 will be negative AE by L or minus AE by L. So when D1 equal to 1, then K will be equal to P. Therefore, KL, local stiffness KL1 for D1 equal to 1 is AE by L, and KL2 for D1 equal to 1 is minus AE by L. Now writing it in a matrix form, what we will get, that is KL equal to matrix AE by L and minus AE by L as shown in the figure for D1 equal to 1. Similarly, we can derive KL for D2 equal to 1. D2 is the displacement occurring at node 2. For D2 to occur, P2 should act rightwards. So for equilibrium, P1 will be acting in the opposite direction. And similar to the first case, delta displacement will be equal to PL by AE. Here delta is the displacement D2, which is equal to 1. Therefore 1 equal to PL by AE, and force P is equal to AE by L, which is derived from that equation, 1 equal to PL by AE. Therefore P is equal to AE by L. Okay. Now to get P1 and P2, P1 is acting in a direction to the negative side of local x-axis. So P1 is equal to minus AE by L and P2 is equal to positive AE by L. Now for KL1 for D2 equal to 1 will be equal to what? Force P1, which is equal to minus AE by L, and KL, local stiffness KL2 for D2 equal to 1 will be equal to local force P2, which is equal to AE by L. Now we can complete the matrix for local stiffness KL. Therefore KL is equal to what we get, AE by L minus AE by L minus AE by L and AE by L, as you can see in the figure for the displacements D1 and D2. Here in this matrix, AE by L is common, so we can take it outside. So what becomes KL? Local stiffness matrix KL is equal to AE by L into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Okay, so this is our local stiffness matrix for a truss element, that is AE by L into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. Okay. Next is the derivation of transformation matrix T for a truss element. You know that transformation matrix T is used to transform local coordinates to global coordinates and vice versa. Here for this element 1, 2, at node 1, the local displacement is small d1 and capital D1 and capital D2 are its global counterparts. That is, in local coordinates we can just say that the member has moved a distance of D1 in the local x direction. But in global coordinate system, what we have to say, the node 1 has moved capital D2 in y global y direction, and then capital D1 in global x direction, to reach the new position. Okay, that is for local displacement d1, capital D1 and D2 are its global counterparts. Okay, similarly at node 2, D2 is the local displacement and D3 and D4 are the global displacement or displacement in the direction of global coordinates for this local D2. Now, the member 1, 2 is inclined at an angle theta with respect to global x-axis. Okay. First, let us consider node 1 and displacement d1. Here you can see the displacement d1, that is small d1, capital D1 and capital D2 can be taken as the sides of a right-angled triangle AOB. Right-angled triangle AOB, which is right-angled at O with angle A equal to theta, which is the inclination of the member. So angle B will be 90 minus theta. Okay. Now drop a perpendicular from OO to side AB. Let it be OC. The point C divides side AB into AC and CB of length D1A and D1B respectively. Now consider the smaller triangle OCA, which is also a right angled at C. So in this triangle, cos theta is equal to adjacent side divided by hypotenuse, which is equal to D1A divided by capital D1. Therefore, small d1a will be equal to capital D1 into cos theta. Let it be our first equation. Similarly, in the other small triangle OCB, cos 90 minus theta will be equal to D1B divided by capital D2. Therefore, small d1b will be equal to D2 into cos 90 minus theta. Let it be our second equation. Now add equation 1 and 2. What will we get? D1a plus D1b is equal to D1 cos theta plus D2 cos 90 minus theta. Okay, but what is this D1a plus D1b? It is the total length of AB, which is small d1. And also we have cos 90 minus theta. What is it? It is sin theta. So we can rearrange this equation as small d1 is equal to d1 cos theta plus d2 sin theta. Okay, that is local d1 is equal to global d1 into cos theta plus global d2 into sin theta. Similarly, d2 is the displacement at node 2 and it can be written as like this. It can be written as d2 is equal to d3 cos theta plus d4 sin theta. Now writing these two equations, that is d1 and d2 in matrix form, we get, you can see d1 d2 matrix d1 d2 is equal to cos theta sin theta 0 0 0 0 cos theta sin theta into capital D1 D2 D3 D4. Okay, in this matrix equation, this matrix cos theta sin theta 0 0 0 0 cos theta sin theta, this is the matrix which helps to transform local displacement to global displacement. So this matrix is called the rotational transformation matrix T. So the equation can be written as small d is equal to matrix T into matrix capital D, where T is the transformation matrix, which is equal to CS0000CS. That is, for cos theta we can write it as C, and for sin theta we can represent it as S. So the matrix becomes CS0000CS. So this is the transformation matrix that we needed for a truss element. Okay. Now consider the local forces P1 and P2 acting on member 1, 2. You can see in the figure. These local forces can be resolved in the These local forces can be resolved in the global direction. That is, capital P1 and capital P2 are the global components of local force P1, and similarly P3 and P4 are the components of local force P2. Now, as usual, the components can be written as global P1, that is capital P1 equal to small p1 cos theta, global P2 equal to small p1 sin theta, global P3 equal to small p2 cos theta, global P4 equal to small p2 sin theta. Writing these in matrix form, that is these four equations in matrix form, we get as global force matrix capital P1, P2, P3 and P4 is equal to cos theta 0 sin theta 0 0 cos theta 0 sin theta into local forces P1 and P2. Here the matrix connecting global and local forces is, what is it? It is cos theta 0 sin theta 0 0 cos theta 0 sin theta. What is it? It is the transpose of the transformation matrix that we have derived earlier. Transformation matrix T is CS0000CS. So transpose of T is C0S000C0S. That is the above matrix. So global force P is equal to transpose of transformation matrix into local force P. So this is the relation connecting global and local forces. Okay, next we have a relation. Local force P is equal to KL into local displacement D. P equal to KL into small d. Multiplying this equation with T transpose on both sides, what we get? We get T transpose small p is equal to T transpose into KL into D. The left side of the equation, that is T transpose local P matrix, what is it? It is the global P. You can see it above. It is capital P equal to T transpose small p. So we can rewrite the equation as capital P global P is equal to T transpose KL into small d. We also have another relation, small d is equal to T into capital D. Substituting this equation in the above equation, we get global P is equal to T transpose KL into T into capital D. Okay. We also have another relation, that is capital P is equal to kg into global D, where kg is the global stiffness matrix. Okay, comparing this third and fourth equation, we get kg global stiffness matrix kg is equal to T transpose KL into T. That is, what is T transpose cos theta 0 sin theta 0 0 cos theta 0 sin theta into KL is local stiffness matrix, which is AE by L into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 into T is cos theta sin theta 0 0 0 0 cos theta sin theta. Multiplying first two matrices, we get the second matrix form, and finally after multiplying it with the third matrix, we get AE by L into cos square theta cos theta sin theta minus cos square theta minus cos theta sin theta, cos theta sin square theta minus cos theta sin theta minus sin square theta minus cos square theta minus cos theta sin theta cos square theta sin theta minus cos theta sin theta minus sin square theta cos theta sin theta sin square theta. So this is the matrix for global stiffness matrix. That is when we write cos theta as C and sin theta as S, what we will get, kg is equal to AE by L into C square CS minus C square minus CS, CS S square minus CS minus S square minus C square minus CS, C square CS minus CS minus S square, CS S square. To easily remember this matrix, we can divide it into 4 parts. You can see the first part is C square CS CS S square, and the second part is the same values but it's negative form, that is minus C square minus CS minus CS minus S square. Now the third column again it is the negative of first part, that is minus C square minus CS minus CS minus S square. And finally the fourth part is similar to the first part, which is C square CS CS S square. This is for to easily remember this matrix. So kg is equal to AE by L into C square CS CS S square, negative of the first part and similar. So this is our global stiffness matrix for a truss element. Okay, so we can conclude that for a truss element, KL, local stiffness matrix, KL equal to AE by L into 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, and global stiffness matrix KG is equal to AE by L into C square CS CS S square, which is the first part. Second part is the negative values of this first part. Third is also negative values of this first part, and fourth is similar to the first part. And finally the transformation matrix is CS0000CS. These values, that is these three matrices, can be directly used in analytical problems. You need not derive for every cases, you can directly use these. Okay, hope you have understood this video. If you have liked this video, please do like and subscribe it. Thank you for watching.